Alrighty, people. Here we
Yeah.
are. On time as always. We appreciate y'all for being here. We've got a fantastic stream scheduled for you. Obviously, a two-parter as always. We'll do the Dynasty Startup mock here to begin, and then we will be doing the Dynasty team playbooks. Getting those out, reviewing some teams, and it'll be a complete stream. I'm excited for you guys to be here with us. Obviously, there's lots to talk about, and we're going to have some conversations in the chat. Got some very, very exciting news on the back end, guys. I can't express how excited I am for what's coming. Something, let's just say a product that we are very excited to showcase to you and to be a part of. And we've had a lot of meetings over, and things are in the works. So all I'll say is, on the 1st of April, what is that day? What is the 1st of April as far as a day itself?
It's a Tuesday for us.
It's a Tuesday. So, that's perfect.
Today, I think it's a week from today, actually.
A week from today, we have a very large announcement, and we are very excited for you guys to be a part of it. In fact, I think this is a product you guys are going to fall in love with. All of our Dynasty friends and family. I mean, man, I'm excited about it myself. Like, I'm hyped that I get to be a part of it. So I am certain that you guys are going to love it as well. So can't wait for that. That's coming very, very soon. And you guys are going to love it. It is not Badaki's only fan page.
we can get that in the works, just depending how much you guys want to pay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Why not?
I ain't no punk. Zach was all talk on the Flock League. I'll start OnlyFans, and then he bitched out.
Yes, I have absolutely no problem with you guys calling me a little bitch for not starting an OnlyFans page. I have no problem. Go crazy if you want to do so. Appreciate y'all for being here with us. Do us a favor, smash that like button to show some love. Daniel Macy's in the chat. He says 31 days until the NFL draft, which is bonkers. What's up, Albert? We got Josh in the building. Boog, Charles, Scribs, Ishmael, P Money, Styles. DT said, I'm out. See you, DT. What's up, Alex? Paul's in the building. Waffle Boy is here. We've got Dylan. We've got Johnny. Here comes Johnny. RG, JW. Cade's here. We already talked about Scribbles, obviously. Daniel's in the building. P Money in the building. Zach in the building. What's up, Daniel? Welcome in, gang. We appreciate y'all for being here with us. We've got a fantastic stream for you today. Appreciate you. Thanks for that. All right, so we are going to be doing a Dynasty Startup mock draft, and I imagine, Badaki, people might have some questions as in, how can I join the Startup mock draft? How can they go about doing so?
Yeah, guys, join our Discord. That link is in the description, and I put that link in the chat there for you guys as well. Go to the Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs, then go to announcements. That's how you can join each and every mock draft if you're watching now or later. It is first come, first serve. I really do recommend that you get some sort of laptop, computer, whatever you have there, because the phone is a little bit slower. Yeah. And I'm gonna choose a spot here. Let's go 8.
Yes.
Number 8 today. And
by the way, you're seeing that link out. All right. That link is getting sent out, guys. First come, first serve. Steven says, so you don't have to start an OnlyFans. Here's a donation. I appreciate you, Steven, looking out for our well-being. Jack here with the donation. Appreciate you, Jack. He says, which side do you guys take in a Superflex Best Ball League? 0.5 Titan Premium McBride, Breece Hall, Pickens, Leggett for Walker, the 202, 203, 204, 26 first, and a 4th. And a Titan Premium, Trey McBride, Breece Hall. That's really the meat of this offer, if we're being honest. Breece Hall and Walker, I don't think it's necessarily a wash, but it's close with these picks. So really the question is McBride in a Titan Premium in a best ball, or the 203, 204 in a first. That's about as even as it can get.
Yeah, I don't mind that trade. And that premium, just in a 0.5 premium, doesn't really move the needle for me. So if you do have a significant tight end in the wings there, and you're trying to sell McBride, I'm happy to take the picks. I don't know how you feel. Obviously, Zach just put out a video about the 26 first class. That might sway your opinion, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah. I'm actually close to selling my 26 first in a league right now as we're talking. He says, I'd be getting McBride. I have Bowers already too. Look, if you already have Bowers, it kind of feels like a waste of using your assets, especially if you're in a league that only has one starting tight end. I know you can put them in the flex. I know it's best ball, but I'm not 100% sure that's the best use of your assets, especially if your running backs and quarterbacks and wide receivers need a boost. I probably wouldn't do that move if you already have Bowers, but it's close. I
agree.
We are doing team reviews today after the startup mock draft. I can actually tell you guys who we're reviewing. Some of these guys are offline reviews. So let me give a little double check here, okay, for you guys. But SG3 is offline. Proper vibes we will do today for sure. We will be doing Patman's offline. Beans is is a trade we need to do. My bad. YG the God we'll do today. Yeah. So those are the teams that we'll review today. It looks like, just so you guys know if you're watching this review, the following people have purchased an offline review, meaning they will get the review done offline. If you want to upgrade to a live, all you need to do is drop a super chat for $10. So Perry is offline, Patman is offline, and SG3s are all offline. Okay. But everybody else's we'll do today. Let's start with this trade question from Beans, and then we'll get to the startup, I promise. But he says that he's sending away a mid-second Kyron and Dalton Kincaid. He's getting back the 108 Zay Flowers and Evan Ingram. The way I view this is the 108 and Kyron Williams are relatively close. Then you have to ask the question, would you rather have Zay Flowers and Evan Ingram or the second and Kincaid? It's very easily Zay Flowers and Evan Ingram for me when you break it down like that. Yes, it's a tight end premium league, but I don't think Kincaid should cost that much, right? He says, I did a team review with you guys live, and I was messing around with trade ideas. You gave me the idea since the 104, 106 people didn't want to trade. I have the 107. I tried the 108 and got this offer. I kind of liked it since I'm contending. Ingram helps at the tight end position. So, yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with this offer myself.
Yeah, I actually like this offer as well. Getting Zay Flowers, even if you can't, hypothetically, you don't like him, you can still sell him for a first, actually. Where you can't do that right now with Dalton Kincaid, nowhere near that. So I actually like this trade as well.
Yes. All right. Just going to quickly reply to P Money, by the way. It says, how can I do a live review? When you go through the checkout process, if you're an annual member, you will receive a team voucher. Okay. That voucher makes the offline review completely free. It makes a live review, I think, $7 for members. So when you go through that process, you'll have a voucher, right? So let's say I wanted to review this team. All right. I select my team. And if I'm an annual member, you'll see Zach and Badaki here. The offline review will be completely free. All you need to do is go to that live tier to get it done live. And it should be $7 if you're doing it for as a member. So yeah, let's get this thing started. Yeah, 2025 Dynasty Superflex Startup Mock Draft, and we're getting it going in 3, 2, 1. Yep, you're good, man. P Money, you're good. Send through that, and we'll have a review of it.
But once P Money, what's your name? Is it Patman?
I think P Money just upgraded, but I could be wrong. I think he's underdog, so I think he just is that him? I don't know. We'll double check. As Jamar Chase goes 101, wow. Ahead of Jaden Daniels, ahead of Josh Allen. That's crazy. Absolutely bonkers. What's up, Alex? Yes, you can get a team review. That process I actually just showed you. You can go through that process regardless what promo code you're using, and you can buy one a la carte, which means just without being a member, you can still purchase one there with Fantasyland. Yeah. By the way, had some feedback from the video from Dylan. He says, watch the video today. Keep your eye on Jace Brown from Kansas State and Denzel Boston, Washington. Yes. I'm confident there will be a ton of a ton of changes to those rankings, but I did release an article on the Flock site charting out the 2026 class. I did this last year as well. It was highly requested to come back. And then, of course, we released the video today where we ranked the 2026 class. And obviously, I gave my opinions on it. Okay, we are 7 picks in.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy right now the way this board is going.
This is kind of wild. I'm not gonna lie. This is a little bit crazy right now.
A little bit bonkers. Is everyone okay this morning or tonight?
As Joey Burrow also comes off the board. This is what was crazy to me is Joe Burrow went at the 107. I genuinely was shocked to see that. So yeah, that definitely surprised me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it is kind of wild.
So Burrow comes off the board. You go Justin Jefferson there. Felt like a very obvious move for you to go Justin Jefferson there. Oh, P Money, we meant on the website. Look, we're not going to make you redo anything, but just so you guys know, if you're ever upgrading your live reviews, don't do it through YouTube, please. And the reason we say that is because YouTube takes 30% of your donation anytime you donate a super chat. That's why we always ask people to go through the site if they want to ask a trade question or
Maybe
send a super message.
Time to turn YouTube chat off, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't want to do that.
I still want it to be convenient for people. But when you're upgrading your review, go to super message on the site. Do not do it through YouTube, but we'll still honor that here for UP Money. Just tell us what your username is on the Flock site, and we'll make sure to honor that for you 100%.
Yeah, appreciate UP Money. All right, Dan's here. Looks like it might be auto-picked. If you guys are going to join the mock drafts, guys, make sure you're here with us. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can't join a mock draft, and in the first round, you decide that you're out. That's crazy. Come on.
Well, he's back. He's with us. Off, so hopefully he's still there with us.
I'm like, guys, come on. Help us out. But yeah, Bijan Robinson, CeeDee Lamb coming off the board. I'm not surprised CeeDee fell that far. There's been a lot of CeeDee disrespect in the community right now, and I'm not standing for it.
Don't stand for it.
I won't. I'm telling you, I'm not gonna. All right, here at the turn, we're probably gonna double tap wide receiver. We'll probably go like a Brian Puka start. So that's what we'll do here at the 201 is a third round reversal, right? You're good, Dan. You're good. Reversal. But yeah, it's a third round reversal. I said third down reversal. It is a third round reversal, so we'll keep that in mind. Bro, I have an offer sitting in my inbox, and it is tantalizing.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Talk us through it, man.
I don't want to talk anyone through it until I either accept or not accept it. So, yeah, I'm just trying to wrap my head around it at the moment.
This guy doesn't want to talk through it. Maybe you should accept it so then we can talk through it then. How about honestly, you pull that trigger right here, right now?
It's not a bad offer. That's the thing. Like I actually think I just need to double check my own rankings, but I think I will accept it. Can you walk us through what's happening here in the second round as I just quickly double check as I make this trade potentially?
Yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Brock Bowers, Ashton Genty, which is our first rookie. Who could potentially go to the Las Vegas Raiders. I still think there's a chance that he can go to the Patriots. If I would personally just say he goes to the Patriots if Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter is off the board. Maybe they trade back because the team wants to trade up for a quarterback or whatever the case may be. But yes, I go Nico Collins. There goes Drizzy Drake London with Drake May as Daniel Macy going. The only team so far with a double quarterback start in a super flex with Jalen Hurts and Drake May here. Scribble saying, well, he's saying exactly. He said Puka needs to fall a couple rounds. He's going to retire at 30. I saw that. I wonder if it's more like I would love to say that. I heard it on social media. Like I haven't seen the actual tweet or like what he said, but I've seen a couple things that people saying, sell your Pukas or Puka's done. You only have a certain amount of years with Puka. Change it.
Oh, okay.
But I will say if he did say that, whenever I do read that or actually have that context, I just feel like without the context, I feel like if someone said that to me, it would be more like, oh, he's probably hoping to retire at 30 and not have to worry about money, right? I mean, you have to remember, he's a fifth round pick. He doesn't have a massive contract.
He's
He's
going
going to
to.
get his big contract soon. Um, at least that's what I would think. If I'm the NFL, I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll retire at 30. Let's do it.
Okay, so I'm so sorry I didn't listen to anything you said at all because I just accepted this trade offer. But can you remind me? Okay, so what did he say? Just one more time. I'm sorry. This is honestly my fault. I know I'm not the biggest Mahomes guy, but it's a no-brainer to take him here at the 301. That's definitely a no-brainer.
Well, that's what Scribble's saying. Scribble said Puka needs to fall a couple rounds. He's going to retire at 30.
Where's that report at, though? Like, I haven't seen that anywhere, but I haven't been looking well enough as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so here it is from Dov Kleiman. I don't know how much this is like one of the worst accounts on Twitter. But he says, I want to retire at the age of 30. I think Aaron Donald to go out on top. I think it would be super cool. But also, I want to have a big family. I want to have at least a starting 5. I came from a big family, so I need 5 boys for sure. But also, like, I want to be able to be part of their lives. Okay, yeah. I mean, he's 23 years old. So, I mean, we're talking about something that could potentially happen earliest. What do we say? Like, 7 years from now. By the way, Beans, if you're just getting this notification, we answered this question at the beginning of the stream. I apologize, but we said that we were cool with the Zay Flowers side of things. As after Pat Mahomes, we have Herbert and Bo Nix coming off the board. Let me just make sure that question cleared out there for Beans. It didn't, but again, Beans, if you're watching this, we answered this at the very beginning of the stream, about 5-10 minutes in, but we wanted the Zay Flowers Ingram side. Okay, that went through. So after Knicks, Ladd McConkey comes off the board. Okay, yeah. I did just make a big old trade.
Jackson Smith and Jimmy Go? Oh yeah, he did. Oh shit.
This is a blockbuster. All right.
I gotta make a pick and I'm about to panic.
And it kind of oh my god. Someone in our league actually just dropped Patrick Mahomes. Oh shoot. Let's help him out here. Let's give him Pat Mahomes back. But okay, let's entertain the people. Tell them what's going on in the third round while I do this. I'm sorry.
I'm also I'm messing. The India League, someone just dropped Patrick Mahomes, and the guy's panicking right now. He was like, "Oh, I did not mean to do that."
I'm gonna add Mahomes to my team.
That's funny. Third round reversal here. Obviously, we saw a couple quarterbacks going off the board, and Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, brother Bo. I was hoping he'd fall to me right there. And then you see Ladd McConkey, Trey McBride, AJ Brown, and T Higgins. I was considering T Higgins there, Daniel Macy. But I think getting Trey McBride there at the middle of the third, I think is a pretty decent round, especially in the tight end premium, if we're really going to go and use, that 0.5. Doesn't really move the needle for me, but why not take a chance? Obviously, it is a mock draft, but that is good. What's happening, Brizzleton? He had the 3-1 is disrespectful. Fall into the 3-1, you said, Styles. Hey, I mean, we had the argument before. I think that people draft for upside, right? They love the upside. And I think in any given season, he can finish as a top 3 quarterback. And then a couple years when he doesn't, it's okay.
Okay, I'm about to show you guys this trade. I apologize for like the time I don't feel like I'm wasting time, but I apologize for the time I'm using right now. Okay, here we go. Bang, bang, bang. Oh my gosh, I keep getting these notifications that are not letting me tweet. Okay, there we go. All right. So, who wants to see the deal?
I already saw it, man.
All right, what's your initial thoughts before we tell people?
Well, without the context of your team, I like the trade.
Okay. I was expecting him to say some sarcastic shit, so that's nice.
No, I'm a big believer in the quarterback you received. I'm a big believer in the wide receiver that you received. And I think that's a pretty fair price.
So I am in a position where I really didn't like this league, my roster. I traded Joe Mixon last year for a first, and then kind of wanted to retool in the India League, and yeah, just wasn't really a fan of where I was. Was originally planning on doing a 1-year punt, but after researching the 2026 class, I really don't like the class. I would highly encourage you guys to, and I'm hoping none of the people in our leagues have watched the video yet, because obviously I'm trying to act on my own opinions, my own thoughts, and one of my big opinions on this class is that it's the worst class 1 year out I've ever scouted. That doesn't mean it's going to be bad, okay? That doesn't mean that you have to panic sell your picks or anything, but I would encourage you to watch this video. It's very in-depth, and I also have the charts of the class broken down on the Flock site. But I just didn't want to rely on the 2026 class, and I'm doing this. It's tough because there are like 2 teams that I planned on rebuilding, but after reviewing the class, I just didn't feel comfortable relying on it to rebuild it. So this is the trade. I'll put it in the chat, and you can have a look at it if you like, okay? Let's have a geese here. This is the trade we just did. I'll put it in the chat. You can go have a look at it on the Twitterverse yourself. But I sent away my 26 first, as well as Jared's, okay? And I think Jared wants to retool here. I think he wants the flexibility of rebuilding. So I sent away my first, his first back to him, the 204, and JJ McCarthy. I haven't sold JJ McCarthy in a single league. I have him so many places. It hurts my heart to do this. You guys know I'm Team JJ. But I got back Jordan Love, Alvin Kamara, Garrett Wilson, and Anthony Richardson. And I am planning on turning this into a contending team. I have the 104 and the 105 in this year's class as well. And I also have Daniel Jones. So whoever starts at quarterback for the Colts, I'll have. It doesn't mean they're going to be the future of the Colts. I am very aware of that. But after we have made this deal, I'll kind of tell you what the team will probably look like. It says I have too many players, so I'm going to have to drop a couple. But we'll probably go with a Herbert, Jordan Love in our super flex. Then I think we'll probably start Jacobs and Kamara. Then we will go probably Waddle, Wilson, Olave, Jameson, and Adunze. On our bench, we have Hollywood Brown. We've got Evan Ingram as well, Trey Benson, Kendre Miller, in case Kamara falls off. And then at the 104 and the 105, I'm planning on drafting the best player available, which could be running back or wide receiver. And then we want to go ahead and compete this year. So that's the deal. Let me know what you guys think.
Let them know what you think. Like I said, I like the deal. I think obviously you get a quarterback that I think upgrades ahead of JJ. I like what he did. You get Garrett Wilson. If you're going to compete, you get Alvin Kamara for a second, which we were talking about. A lot of people, we had a conversation in another live stream saying how people would pay a late first for Alvin Kamara. Maybe essentially you just got him for the 204. That's kind of where we were okay to pay. And then Anthony Richardson, for free, essentially. Yeah.
I'm a big JJ guy. Like, let's be clear. If you're not a big JJ guy, you'll probably look at this and think I won. But it actually really hurts my heart sending JJ away, because I truly believe in that offense. I struggle to see a way he doesn't succeed. Do you know what I mean? So that was tough for me. And if you're not a JJ guy, you probably won't really feel that way. But again, after I took Mahomes at the 301, we had Herbert and Nix come off the board. 2 great values at the quarterback spot. Then Ladd, McBride, A.J. Brown, T. Higgins, Saquon Barkley, Rashee Rice, Stroud, Breece Hall, Bucky Irving, both ahead of Marion Hampton. Jordan Love, Sam Laporta, Hampton, Adunze, McMillan, DJ Moore, Travion Henderson, Baker Mayfield. A little run of quarterbacks here. Maybe I shouldn't have said what I said about JJ here. But Murray, Purdy, Mayfield, McCarthy off the board. And And that's okay. I still like my options available to me here. So we gonna be all right. I'll probably go double quarterback here, honestly. I'll probably double tap, and that will be Penix, Goff, I believe, is what we'll do here. So 3 quarterbacks off the board. Felt like they were the best values, even though I didn't go quarterbacks in the first 2 rounds. I like this.
Okay. Quarterbacks off the board. Kind of hoping it was Michael Penix was going to follow me, but I guess makes sense.
Yeah, I have never seen that many quarterbacks go off the board from like round 4 in a row. That's like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just didn't feel like the wide receivers on the board I was in love with. I mean, I like some of them. Running backs, there's decent value. I just wanted to shore up that position. Styles is doing the same thing. But Aki's sweating now.
I'm chilling. Plenty of quarterbacks.
There goes Johnny Tay off the board.
Plenty of quarterbacks out there.
By the way, I just wanted to quickly address Daniel here. He says, I wasn't here when you reviewed my trade for username Beans, but I ended up getting Rashee Rice instead of Zay and threw an extra second. I love that. I love that you're able to grab Rashee Rice, man. Huge W. Congratulations. That's a great trade awesome for you, dude. You should feel great about that. But I love it. Everyone's got different opinions in the chat on the trade. You know, Johnny says, give me the McCarthy side by a first. I guess he's saying, like, I lost out on a... Like, he's saying I need another first value on my end. JCM says it's highway robbery. Michael says he likes it. Steele says he likes it if I'm competing. So, yeah. This is super flex. Yes, absolutely super flex. Goff over Lawrence? Yeah. I don't know. Is that a hot take? Why do people... I don't understand why people have no respect for Jared Goff. That's what I don't understand, personally.
Okay.
And that was kind of my invitation for us to have a conversation about it.
Yeah,
but,
sorry. I'm on the clock here. I'm so sorry, brother. We can definitely have a conversation. Let me make a pick. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to take Dak Prescott now because I don't think he's going to come back to me.
So, Jared Goff, Pat Mahomes. Not that big of a difference in age, right? Last year, Jared Goff scores almost 20 points per game. He was a quarterback 7. He scored more points per game than Patrick Mahomes, right? And if you look at Trevor Lawrence, I mean, if Trevor Lawrence put 3 years in a row like this that Jared Goff has done, I think we would all be much more confident in his, you know, like, future, looking forward.
I just think a lot of people, it's in a dynasty perspective, they're probably just looking at Jared Goff and Trevor Lawrence and seeing the difference in age.
Right.
And how Jared Goff is older, he's nearly 30 years old. You're going to draft a quarterback in his 30s in a dynasty startup over Trevor Lawrence, who's 20. Well, I can pull it up here. Let's see.
Yeah.
He is 25. Jared Goff, like I said, he's 30 years old, 5 years younger. And you can still build with him.
Which, like, I would understand, like, look, if Jared Goff was, like, 37 or something, like, if he was Matt Stafford's age, I definitely would hear where people are coming from. But this man is 30 years old. And he is the heart and soul of this team. A team that has Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Laporta, Amon-Ra, and Jameson Williams. I know Ben Johnson's gone, but, like, come on. That is an incredible core to build around. I mean, you can make an argument. Like, let me ask you guys. Everyone thinks Pat Mahomes, outside of our community, should be like a first-round startup pick still. Outside of our community. Obviously, you saw that today. But most people are like, how is Mahomes going in the second? So let me ask you this. Would you bet, how much money would you comfortably bet on Mahomes outscoring Jared Goff in points per game this year in fantasy football? How much money would you comfortably bet Pat Mahomes outscoring Jared Goff this year? And if you can't comfortably bet more than $5, then you need to really reassess how you view both of those players.
Maybe 50.
Steven says 5. Johnny says 0.
And I said this, I think, when you were talking about your trade, we were talking about Patrick Mahomes, and I was like, people go for the upside. In any given year, we know Patrick Mahomes can finish as a top 3 quarterback.
Totally.
Has he done it recently? No.
Totally get that and respect where that's coming from. Totally.
You know.
Book says maybe 50. Scribble says I think Goff could definitely outscore Mahomes again. And look, I think like I have no problem with you saying that Mahomes is going to outscore Goff if you feel that way, but I do have a problem with like the drastic gap in ADP between the two. Like consensus says Mahomes a first round pick. Consensus says Goff's a 5th or 6th round pick. That is mind boggling to me. It does not compute. Like it makes no sense. If you swapped around their situations and gave them the different supporting casts, sure.
Okay. Yeah, no, I definitely get it. I think as a topic of conversation, I think I would say this. I think if you are in a redraft league and you're drafting Patrick Mahomes, I think any given game, any given week, you have a chance to have the number 1 quarterback. Where yeah. I'm not sure we can confidently say that with Jared Goff. Now, can we talk about Jared Goff finishing higher than Patrick Mahomes on a points per game in a season? Yes. But I think we will all bet that Patrick Mahomes has the ability to be the QB1 specifically on a week-to-week basis.
But the funny part is, like, we said that all last offseason, all last season, every single week. We're like, yeah, I mean, Mahomes could be the quarterback 1 this week. And then it just never happened. Like maybe once it happened, but like every week we were like, Mahomes, him.
I guarantee you, going into this year, it's going to be the same shit.
Oh, and rightfully so, right? Like the conversation makes sense. Like it's a valid conversation. We all know how good Mahomes is, but we are now like 2 years of him not finishing top 10 in points per game, and it's just the name value. And to be fair, even if he has another average year, his value is not going to plummet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's just because of the name. I get it. Like he's gonna hang around there, but Judkins comes off the board. That's a great pick. That was definitely who I was eyeing up with my next pick, so I like it a lot. There goes Xavier Worthy off the board, and yeah, we've put ourselves in a situation here where we have to make some difficult decisions now. I do think Metcalf is a value here, almost in the 7th round. I have slightly changed my tune. I do hate the offense he's a part of, and I do hate the man who's controlling that offense with a passion that I've never hated a man with before. However, there's a big however here. You don't pay the man Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb money. You don't pay the man to not feature him. All right, and I'm relying on that with DK Metcalf this offseason. I'm not actively buying him, but I'm more open to the idea of drafting him at this price. And we've got a bunch of great options here. I do think I'm going to pair Jared Goff with Jameson Williams, infuse some upside into that lineup. And I'm really liking what we're building here so far. Get those flexes sorted out, and we'll try to hit on some late round running backs. So, yeah, I like it.
Hey. See what I can get here. Jordan Addison off the board.
And I agree with Mark here. Yeah, 100%. His value is the longevity. Like I can totally respect and agree with that sentiment. 100%. I get that. Aaron Rodgers to DK for the win. Yeah. I mean, whatever Aaron's got left, please. Please, Aaron, whatever you've got left. Imagine Aaron Rodgers signs with the Steelers and they go to like the AFC Championship or something. And he looks like vintage Rodgers. That'd be wild.
I don't understand how that offense would operate just based off of there's really not much that's going on down the middle of the field for Aaron Rodgers to throw to.
Well, down the field is great, but middle of the field, you're right. It's a bit of a shit show.
That's where Aaron Rodgers kind of, he's operated, and I would imagine the majority. I don't know how the numbers, but I feel like I think of Aaron Rodgers, I think he's throwing down the middle of the field, and obviously,
I just think he's some of the best. He's like, I'll throw it wherever I damn well please. Well, when he was himself, right? But
yeah. Okay, Lapito.
But yeah, I mean, Lou, I obviously, guys, let's all agree. Like the version of Rodgers we saw last year is not good, okay, but it is better than Mason Rudolph. All right, so anyone who owns DK Metcalf or George Pickens, I think Aaron Rodgers is your best bet right now. At least we had multiple games, almost weekly. You could start Adams and Garrett Wilson last year. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah.
I like the Caleb Johnson pick there in the 7th round. I think that's great value if he goes top 2 rounds in the draft for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Getting someone like that. Chase Brown off the board, who I was also considering, but like Zach just said, if you get a round 2 running back, getting a starting job over Chase Brown, who could potentially get a running back drafted either to replace him or to complement him, might hurt his value. Chris Godwin, also another really good pick there from Daniel Macy. And once his ADP gets closer and closer to the season, I think we're going to see Chris Godwin go in the 6th round, personally.
Really?
I could be wrong. You might feel a little bit more confident with Chris Godwin over some names like the DKs.
That was
like
wide receiver
Powers,
31. I in my rankings, I have Godwin around wide receiver 32, I think. Let me double check. And that felt aggressive from me. 32, yeah. This feels right because you still have to ask the question, is he going to be the same player coming off of an injury that we don't have a lot of evidence of players getting back to an elite form? Like, with his age, coming back from the injury, the contract helps, but a broken ankle is not the same as an ACL. That's a different monster, I think. No,
we haven't. No one like
who's had that injury and then come back to play at an elite level. Like, genuinely, someone tell me. I don't know.
Specifically, wide receiver.
Yes,
I can't tell you. I have no idea.
Like, your ability to cut in and out of routes is very important.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
By the way, we have an update for Travis Hunter. Alex gave us an update here. Now, we don't know Alex well, but we do see him on the stream often. And we can't tell you how reliable this is. But officially, Travis told him that he's playing full-time wide receiver. So that's all I needed to hear.
That is huge.
That's all I needed to hear to be all in.
Per sources.
Per sources. That is per sources. What sources? Alex, of course.
Alex.
Y'all know. But I would love that, Alex. I would absolutely love that. JCM says every competing roster should go, but Goff as their maybe Goff as a quarterback 2/3. I kind of agree. I think he's a perfect quarterback 2/3. In fact, I won our golf league last year with Goffy as my quarterback 2. Look at this nasty roster, man. I traded for Bucky this offseason, but we're trying to go back to back. Jaden, Bucky, Ken, Brian, Seedy, Trey, London, Higgins, Goff. We've got Fields on the bench. Benson waiting to step up. McMillan, Addison, Rice just waiting, kind of in that echo, or what is it called? What's that chamber where people get healthy? Anyway, let me flex for a second. I'm sorry. I'll stop. As Travis Hunter comes off the board, we love to see it. Ken Walker's actually.
Yeah, that's crazy.
8th round, Ken Walker.
Crazy.
Wait a second. We are living in a world where Ken Walker and Mike Evans just got drafted right by each other. A world where Jaden Reed went ahead of Ken Walker, where Trey Harris went ahead of Ken Walker. Wow. If this was a real league, I think everyone would massively regret letting Walker fall that far.
Let's see.
I really think people would have regrets with that. What a value. My gosh. Well done. Excuse the hiccups.
That bony. All right. Let's make a pick here, JC. I gotta know who I'm gonna take.
Jay says, let's go. I got Ken. Love it, love it, love it. Everyone's saying make it a real league.
So good.
Webby, by the way, we've got double confirmations here per sources. We've got double per sources. Okay. So Webby also confirmed that Travis told him the same thing. So there you go.
And the thieves.
There you go. Bad Bunny.
The Bad Bunny. Okay, let's take
Go ahead.
Let's get Tyrone.
You better call on him. Trust me, bro. Season. I love it. It's a cryo chamber. Cryo chamber? Is it cryo or cryo chamber?
I once convinced someone that
is it cryo?
Tyreek Cohen was going to be the
my wife
starting
says
running
it's
back
cryo
for the Bears.
chamber, so there you go.
So I've been there before, guys.
As Tracy comes off the board, is Dan with us? Do we have a pulse on Dan?
Boom.
Cryo means ice. Yeah. As Ricky Pearsall is a great pick there. I mean, Dan had a pulse. He's like, let me cook for a second. Let me cook. Give me 1 second. And he comes out here and pulls Ricky Pearsall at the 8-9 out of his ass. That is incredible. Well done.
I was hoping. I was trying to hide him in ADP, even though he was like third from the top.
Yeah.
I was hoping for something.
I love the pick. Fudge! Damn. I was staring him down for 23 picks. Wow. I knew as soon as I saw Styles there, I knew like it's just not going to happen. Move on. And then
unlucky.
For 23 picks, I waited on Matthew Golden to come off the board. That hurts. It's real to me though. I know it's not real chasing, but it's real to me. The pain is real. I need you to know that the pain I'm feeling is real. All right, we'll go. Is Loveland off the board already?
Yeah, he is.
Wow, Loveland and Warren are off the board. All right, I need to reshuffle here real quickly. We have 12 seconds. 12 seconds. Oh, yeah, we'll grab Devontae. I love that, actually. Wow. Almost ninth round Devontae. I have Devontae ranked ahead of Chris Godwin, personally. But it's very close between the two. They're literally back-to-back, so that's great. We'll have that kind of bail us out here. We are back on the clock. And this running back position is disgusting. Let me tell you something. Disgusting.
I'll trade you, Caleb.
But I'm not sure it matters the way we're building. Wow, Sam Darnold this late. I'm going to let someone else do it, but I'll leave that there. Yeah, some great options here. I probably won't let Mark go any further than this. I'll grab Mark at the...
Yeah, get Marky. Get Marky, Mark.
Style says just 360 no scope. Temper shotted Zach there.
Yeah, that was always a good feeling in it.
Yeah. Steven says take Pitts. Never. Never again. I don't know if you sent me... If you had Kyle Pitts and I had the 212 and you're like, hey, man, you want Kyle Pitts? It's just the 212. We know how good.
But what if I told you he was a generational talent that went top 8 in the NFL draft? It probably has never been drafted. He's probably one of the highest drafted tight ends ever.
It does not matter. I don't think I would even accept that trade. And this is what's funny is wait for this to be the year. Now that everybody's officially out. Everybody's officially out. Nobody wants anything to do with him. The classic tight end route to relevancy. Watch this be the year that he finally actually breaks out. That would be hilarious.
That's great. I will sell the one share I have of him with that opportunity. I really hope I could do it.
Boog says, I got Devontae in the 20th round. Love it. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Chase says, hopefully you guys are subscribed to Styles. Styles is great people. We love some Styles. Would you do Brian Thomas and Ricky Pearsall for Justin Jefferson? Steven asked the question. I think it would depend on the league settings I'm in. For example, if I'm in a league that's like a start 11 or 12, something crazy like that, I'm probably taking the Brian Pearsall, but I think you can maybe even like nick another early second off that. But in any other format, I think you take Justin Jefferson and run with it.
Yeah, it really depends on the format, but I'm taking Justin Jefferson. What's happening, Steven? Hope all is well, brother.
Yeah. You must have changed your YouTube name because, you know.
It was Steven
Day, right? Day. Yeah. Must have changed your YouTube name. Must have switched it up.
See you in Texas.
Yeah, that is also very exciting news. The date for the meetup hasn't officially been set, but the trip to Austin has officially been set. We will be in Austin, Texas again this year in August. It will be somewhere, the meetup will be in Austin, Texas, and it will be somewhere between the 13th and the 18th of August. I believe it's going to be on the 17th of August, a Sunday.
Yeah, we haven't locked in the day. It'll probably be a Sunday or a Saturday. But once we know those dates, we'll let you guys know as soon as possible, so you guys can, we can catch up with some of you guys and meet some. We had a couple of good faces come out last year. Steven was there, which was awesome to meet, and a bunch of other people, especially from our league. TD Vulture was out there. So
yes, TD traveled all the way from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Felt so bad I wasn't there. 30 seconds on the clock, guys. 30 seconds
come
on the
through.
clock now.
I'm pumped for it.
Definitely come
some
through.
Of you guys.
It'll be really fun to meet all you guys. But yes. Paul says, did you guys see Restrepo ran a 4.83 40-yard dash at his pro day? He says, not kidding. And I know you're not kidding because I've seen the video myself, and I can tell you guys it was a 4.83. I mean, there's no watching the video, you're like, holy shit, he's still running. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Okay.
It was pretty. I saw that tweet and I was like, surely that's not good.
Yeah.
I was like, surely he is devastated.
So this is the 40 time. The 33rd team tweeted it out. So you're like, okay, he gets off the block, right? And then you're like, is he still running? Okay, hold on. Okay. So ready? Like, surely he's done. No, that's a 30-yard line you just saw. Yeah. I mean, you and I have not been particularly high on Xavier Restrepo, but I think if you watched his film, I don't think you expected a burner. I don't think you ever saw someone stretching the field. He definitely works inside, outside, in the middle of the field, that intermediate game, but he is never going to stretch the field for you.
No, but
Never.
Is that like historically slow? I'm on the clock here and I haven't even admitted. Is that like historically slow for a running back or a wide receiver? Excuse me.
That is
I'm just gonna take
one of the worst 40 times you'll see for a wide receiver, especially at his size. I wonder if RAS actually has an updated score on that yet. Probably not. But I can tell you that in our rookie report, we have that RAS. I imagine his RAS is going to be like under a 3. It might be worse. It might be like a 1. Truly, I don't actually know 100% yet, but we do have those historical hit rates from the RAS, and the historical hit rate is a starting Pro Bowler. It's not perfect, but that's the information they've offered us. So if you look at the RAS historical hit rates, if you have under a 5 RAS, you have in the last 24 years, only 13% of wide receivers who have been starting at the Pro Bowl, not alternates, Pro Bowl starters, only 13% of them have had under a 5 RAS. So
actually could scribble.
It's not promising. I'll say that. It's not promising.
Man, you're just not okay. But like the best thing for him is that like the worst thing for him is that they probably had the biggest showing of coaches and teams because of Cam.
Oh yeah.
And he just ran a 4.83. That's sad.
Yeah. It is sad. It is sad. W just says may not stretch the field, but can stretch his legs, and the unemployment line is crazy. No, see, here's the thing though. I mean, if you look at RAS historical hit rates, and then you also think about draft capital historical hit rates, I mean, he's not going to get drafted in the first 4 rounds. That doesn't mean he won't succeed in the NFL, but you're kidding yourself if you think he's going to get drafted in the first 4 rounds. You know, they haven't updated his RAS yet. But, I mean, I feel confident in saying that. I wonder if MathBomb has tweeted anything out yet. Surely he would take advantage of the moment, right? Okay.
Yeah, but
not
I
yet.
just think when that happened, it just wasn't. It was all eyes on Cam, right? Like, I think that's also the bad part about this is that all eyes was everyone was there because of Cam. But the good part about this for Xavier is that like it just got lost because it was Cam was overshadowing it.
Yeah. Well, Xavier's a solid number 3 in an offense, probably, but he's unlikely to be more than that historically. But that doesn't mean that, you know, we see outliers every year. He could be the next outlier. Who knows, right? But history is not going to be very kind with that testing. Hey, be a friend. Hit the like button for us, guys. We had a goal today of 100 likes as our goal. Even if we don't reach it, we're just glad to be with you guys. It's a 2-part stream, and we are going to get to these team reviews here very, very soon. I'm enjoying the team I'm building up here in this mock draft. It's been fun. Right now, we got a starting lineup of Mahomes, Benson, Jones, Puka, Bryan, Mark, Andrews, DK Metcalf, Jameson Williams, Savante Adams, Michael Penix, and Jared Goff on the bench. And Badaki's obviously doing his thing here. Kyler, Dak, Geno, the combination of Caleb, Tracy. Imagine Caleb gets drafted by the Giants.
I got the Giants backfield.
Jefferson, Nico, Waddle, Shakir, Ridley. Nice little team he's building up there as well. But yeah.
Yeah, no. Appreciate
How many
you
likes
guys.
to make this a real league? I don't think it's
you.
going to happen.
TD is in here, so I'll try to go again. Yeah, that'd be awesome, TD. No pressure, but
Hell yeah.
See you
I
there.
feel so bad I wasn't there, TD. I'm so sorry. All plans are to be there this time. What's up, Silas? Welcome in, my friend. You love it. We'll see you in Austin, Steven. 100%, my friend. We'll see you in Austin. Everybody's showing Styles a lot of love right now, and he's having a nice draft here, isn't he?
Styles, when are you gonna start your YouTube channel, brother? You see all this love you getting?
This
Might be a
is a
sign.
great team, though. I mean, Ingram in the 11th round is actually, wow. He should have suffered more at tight end, honestly. And that's on all of us. We all have to take accountability for that. Okay. I need to make sure I'm not losing my mind.
You are.
Okay, well, perfect. Okay, I am. Shador Sanders went the 6-7. I was like, when is Shador Sanders coming off the board? Okay, I was losing my mind the whole time. Don't be worried. It's all been figured out, okay? As you go, Brian Robinson, then one of my favorite rookies in this class comes off the board in Jalen Royals. Elijah Arroyo also off the board. And I have got 2 picks coming up here. After these 2 picks, we might transfer over to doing some reviews here.
Yeah, happy to do that. Yes, Chasing Breaker, we are doing Austin again. We don't have an exact date, but we'll let you know as soon as possible. But we can confirm that
It will be somewhere between August 13th to 18th.
yeah, we will be going to Austin.
Absolutely.
Airbnb and all that's been booked.
I'm going to go the rookie route here. I'll go RJ Harvey. I love me some RJ. So he'll be my first pick. And then after RJ, I think we'll grab maybe Devin Neal if he's available. Is Devin Neal already gone, though?
Yes, he is.
Okay, so Devin Neal's gone, but how about Dylan Sampson?
Dylan Sampson I'm pretty
is
sure
gone
as well.
Okay. Then we will pivot to... Is Jaden Higgins gone? Okay, we'll grab Jaden Higgins there then.
All right, Jaden Higgins off the board.
Damn, I
for
thought
Zach.
I'd grab Devin Neal or Dylan Sampson there. That's unfortunate.
It's okay, man. That happens, you know. Sometimes you get you guys, sometimes you don't.
People are saying Benson's a Jag. Yeah. Obviously, we had Dirty Burden here saying Benson's a Jag. I can respect people's opinions. I mean, every time he had an opportunity last year, he was great. He showed exactly what we thought he could be. Obviously, James Conner, his first year ever. No, not even joking. His first year ever being healthy the entire
And
season.
being healthy.
And that obviously did not work out for Trey Benson, but
Trey Benson.
I still very much believe in him. I think there's a reason they took him early round 3, and all indications are that he's going to be a very important part of their offense this year. So you might want to sell James Conner based off all the things they're saying. If you can sell him for an early second, it might be a good time to get out. And that's not to say that James Conner won't be a startable guy. He should have another great year, you know?
It's just, I think one of the things we were predicting last year was that once Trey Benson showcases what he can do on the field on a game-to-game basis, that's going to take a lot of opportunity away from James Conner.
Yep.
The fact that he was healthy the whole time.
Yeah.
And one of the most injured running backs in the league.
100%.
Just unlucky, really.
Yeah, and obviously he got extended. Yes, we all know that as well, right? He got extended.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a reason they drafted Trey Benson as early as they did, and his extension wasn't crazy. I mean, he's going to be 30 years old. It was $9.5 million, I think. Almost like the same money as like Ramondre Stevenson territory, but was still a decent amount of money. I wonder what the out is, if there is any in that. I want to see James Conner's contract.
I feel like when the contract came out, it didn't have an out, but I'm remembering wrong. So it was such a team-friendly deal. There's no point of having an out.
There's
right?
an out after this year that could save them almost. Is this right? $17 million.
Well, how much was the whole contract?
That can't be right, because there's no way he's going to be here in 2026. Who knows contracts better than this? Potential out 2 years, $17 million. If they can save $17 million, they're going to cut him after this year. But that's not right. Is it the dead cap that they save? Is it only the 2.5? Well, the cap hit is $10 million next year. Wait a second. And most of his salary is based in 2026. Really, this year he's only making 5? Is that 5 almost? Or sorry, 6?
6.
Pretty much 6 million. So most of that contract's next year, and they have an out. This might not be as solid as we once thought. I haven't actually sat down and looked at his contract, but obviously you assume they want to give him a majority of the work. If you can handle that as a 30-year-old. Jordan Mason's such a good pick there. Kind of wish I made that pick now. We're getting into the weeds here, ladies and gentlemen.
You like weed? Is that what you're saying?
Get into the weeds.
I haven't even been paying attention of who I should take. I'm just going to take the first guy.
All right, so Wandale.
Big year with the Jameis. Come on.
You know what? That could actually be true. You could actually be onto something there. Jameis Winston. I think we're all hoping that Jameis is a starter for the entire season, right? I mean, I feel like we're all on the same page in saying that.
I don't think they signed him to be the starter, but yes, we hope that he could be the starter for. I mean, I don't hope that he's a starter. I think it'll be fun to watch him as the starter. But do I want him to be the starter of the Giants? Probably not.
All right. At some point, you say, F it, we ball. And let's just go ahead and grab Javonte here in the 14th round. And then right after that, we'll add another rookie. Okay, I think this is another example where I'm losing my mind. Trey Harris is not available, right? He's been drafted. Okay.
I think you're actually going crazy today, man. Praying for you.
Has lost his mind. Jack Besh is gone. Okay. How about Knoll? Okay. How about Jarquez Hunter? Okay, we'll take Jarquez off the board.
Jarquez, yeah. A little bit of Bob Bonnie.
Johnny says, as of today, unable to buy Pitts for a third. I think that's probably where you draw the line, right? Like if you have Kyle Pitts A third's probably not that enticing to you. Was Jalen Knoll there, really? Oh, shit. Oh, well. Well, someone else can grab him. My bad. Bristleton, yeah. I always try and find funny ways to do that. Lamar and Hubbard or Hurts and Puka. I think that's very easily Hurts Puka for me. Love Lamar, obviously, but yeah, that's not close for me personally. I'm very comfortably on that Hurts Puka side, but let me know what you guys think if you have a different opinion in the chat. All right, this is the last round, and we are gonna go ahead and get into some team reviews, guys. So right now, the teams that we're gonna review live. If P Money is here, we said we'd honor his super chat, but P Money, what's your username on Flock Fantasy, my friend? Can you remind us what your username is? But right now, here are the teams that we are reviewing live today. And if we're not calling your name out, it's because you have an offline review. Okay, so Proper Vibes is getting a live review today. YG the God is getting a live review today. And then I think the only other live review today is from P Money. We'll find out what his username is. I think it's Underdogs. But hopefully he can let us know. SG3s are both offline. Pat's is offline. And Perry's is offline as well. So we have sent those guys messages. If they want to upgrade, just through the Flock Fantasy website, send a super chat, $10 super chat, or DM us if you have any questions. So those are the teams we'll be reviewing today. That's true, actually. I do need to remember that Puka's retiring at 30, which is fair. Okay. I appreciate y'all for being here with us. This was a fun draft. Always have fun talking shop with you guys. But let's get into the nitty gritty here. And you know the fucking vibes.
You know the fucking vibes. Shout to SG3. Thank you for being so patient.
Well, we're not doing SG3, my friend. SG3s both are offline, so we're going to Proper Vibes.
Hey, Proper, we really appreciate you and the support. Thank you so much for being patient. Let's have a look at this context here. Sorry, Ellen. I heard a big bang. I thought it was ice coming through. No, that's terrible. I'm so sorry. That's not a funny joke. Proper Vibes. He says, "Yo, what up, homie? I like where I'm at with this team, but I'm feeling stuck."
He said homies, by the way. So you're talking to both of us, just so you know. Like I also was included in that.
You consider yourself a homie?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Just want to make sure you know that I was also included in the homies. It wasn't just you, okay? I don't know why you assumed it was just you. But yeah,
I didn't assume it was just me.
Well, you said homie, so I just want to clear that up. We're both eligible for the homie tag. Go ahead.
I'm curious to what moves you'll try to make. I have the 104, the 110, the 204, and a third. There are some stacked teams, but I don't want to count my team out yet. Also, do you think Rashid gets suspended in 2025?
Yes, let's start with that. Yes, he will. Somewhere between 3 to 4 or 5 games, I'd say. But yes, he will. But that makes him a pretty good buy. Love the new colors on the site. Like there's a little enhancement. I don't know if you noticed that. The colors are new and it looks better, I think, for sure.
Yeah, nice. Gives a nice little pop there.
The pop really is definitely. It's almost like Tron vibes in a way. I don't know if you guys have watched Tron. I liked Tron as well.
I'm not getting Tron vibes, but yes, I get the vibe that you're getting.
Me and the homies know the Tron vibes. So what is his team name? All throw
Rome. It's a 2 quarterback, 12 team start, 10 with a 0.75 premium.
And this league hasn't officially set their draft order, so we don't have their picks installed. Can you remind me what he said he had?
Yeah, he has the 104, the 110, the 204, and a third.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, let's have a look at this team here. Caleb Williams, JJ McCarthy, Trevor Lawrence, and Justin Fields. Phenomenal quarterback room. I mean, not the top guys, but guys you could start even if some get hurt. At the running back position, Bucky Irving, Chase Brown downtown with Javonte Williams. Decent running back room. You got to hope that Chase Brown doesn't get another running back added to that backfield, or it's not a top 3 pick, a top 3 round, excuse me. You can start up to 5 wide receivers in this league. Brian Thomas, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Roma Dunze, Jalen Coker, Jalen Polk, and the list goes on. So you have 3 starting wide receivers we feel comfortable with. You're just right outside of that mix. And you don't have a starting tight end that at least I feel comfortable with. I'm not a big Tucker Kraft believer. I think if they draft a wide receiver, if we see somebody else take a big step, whatever that case may be, I think Tucker Kraft might be a little bit tough to start. So you don't really have a great starting tight end, in my opinion. But the community thinks different, of course. And you obviously have some first round picks.
By the way, we got GP money. We'll do yours today as well. Okay. Yeah. Well, I like Tucker Kraft a little bit more, but I agree with you that I think overall the hype has gotten a little too big. I think at one point he was tied in 4 in rankings. You can see here I have him as tied in 8. I still like him. I think he had a really good breakout. My main concern with Tucker Kraft, and it's, I really think Luke Musgrave was
the guy.
Like I'm not going to say a Trey McBride level prospect because he didn't have the production, but from an athletic perspective in the draft capital, all signs were that he could be a monster in his own right. And I do think he's going to be a part of this offense when he's healthy. He just hasn't been able to stay healthy. So you do have to ask some questions, but Tucker Kraft is still very good. But yeah, starting lineup right now is probably going to be Trevor Fields if he starts right now, but you could start any of the 4. Bucky Brown, Brian JSN, Kraft, and then you need to flex 3 more names. Yeah. So Adunze, and then we don't know who else. Maybe Javonte Williams. I think you could probably sell one of these quarterbacks. Trevor, maybe.
So. Wow.
And then we have 2 first-round picks, which would be the 104 and the 110. So, yeah. Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Let me be very clear. I think it's Tucker Kraft's job. I'm not sitting here claiming that, Musgrave is still the tight end 1. We're on the same page there, but I just believe he's still going to play a part, right? But cool. Let's think about this team. Overall team grade. He has his first in 26. He's got a decent team here. I would put this around a like a B plus? B, maybe B flat?
I was just thinking B. Actually, you know what? Yeah, B flat. It feels better. I was gonna say B minus, but he has great quarterback room.
Yeah.
Top wide receivers. If everything goes well, he should be in the mix there.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And then, as far as holds, we're gonna put Adunze as a strong hold for this team. I'll add JJ to that list. Jalen Coker is another great hold, and then I'd like to say Kraft, but I wouldn't be opposed to pivoting. But you're not really selling Kraft. Well, in some leagues you are. We can also add.
We can just put Roman and JJ if we like.
I'll go Blake Corum just because I think he could still have a role in year 2. That's 4. As far as the drops, you can definitely drop Ty Chandler now if you wanted to. Eric All is droppable. Brendan Rice, you can drop any of those guys if you like. On the waiver wire, names that are worth picking up: Elijah Mitchell, Isaiah Davis. Elijah Mitchell signs with the Chiefs. Who knows what role he'll have? Probably nothing. De'Ami Brown I would pick up. AJ Barner's worth a pickup. I'd probably prefer AJ Barner over like Luke Schoonmaker, Tyler Higbee, Eric All. But yeah. Okay, so we've done all the admin stuff. I guess we need to talk about a pathway for this team.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
I think
Sleeper feels right to me.
That's where I'm at. I think Sleeper because You still need a significant amount of players, I think, to kind of jump in. I think even if you were to, well, he has the 10, what is it? The 104 and the 110. Sleeper could be, I think Sleeper is the best case because if Chase Brown, if they don't bring anyone to compete with Chase Brown, then he drafts a wide receiver at the 104 or a running back, and at the 110 he gets a tight end. I think that changes the game, like, right? He gets 10 at
I
the
would
104.
prefer him to go like an Igbuka at the 110 rather than a tight end. I think his tight ends are
Yeah,
good enough. But yeah, like there's a scenario here where he could be competing for sure if Chase Brown keeps his job.
yeah.
But it is a tight end premium, so we wouldn't necessarily be opposed to that either, like you mentioned at the 110. But yeah, we're on the same page here. I think this is a sleeper team. We're not actively like selling pieces. I mean, outside of maybe Chase Brown and Javonte Williams, there's not really a piece on this team that you would sell as like a medium rebuilding team anyway. But yeah, a couple moves, you're right in the mix. If the draft capital pans out, if you draft a bunch of players that are contributing from day one, you could definitely be in the playoffs, and anything can happen from there, right, with the squad that you've got. So we're on the same page. We're going to go sleeper here with this team. Let's go to the chalkboard here. And and if you were to stick and pick, this team is definitely, I think, in an ideal world, to me, whether or not Chase Brown retains his job, I'm probably targeting running back. If it's the true best player available, you know, like let's say the first 3 picks go Genty, Hampton, Henderson, and then Judkins and Johnson don't actually have second round draft capital, and McMillan's sitting there as a first round pick, and you can't force it in that scenario, right? Of course, we'll never draft for need. We'll trade for need if we want to. But yeah, and then at the 110, you're kind of in the situation where ideally it's Igbuka or Golden or one of the tight ends. You know, I think that's kind of like the ideal outcome for you is one of these 4 players. But then, of course, if, you know, Caleb Johnson ends up being the best available and you already went McMillan, you know, you can kind of envision how that could easily be flip-flopped, right? At the 204... Yeah. Again, best player available. Maybe that's Trey Harris. Maybe it's one of these running backs and Matthew Golden. And then the 3rd round true BPA, which will be updated in our 2025 rookie report, which you'll have access to on the Flock site if you're a member. And then, yeah, that is the option for this team. I mean, I guess you could look at trading these picks, but as a sleeper, we kind of want to maintain that youth.
Yeah.
And the flexibility. Like if we trade for DJ Moore and our team isn't competing and then we're trying to look towards the future, that might be difficult from like a flexibility perspective for this roster. So I don't know that I would really pursue that. The only other idea is if we wanted to tier down from the 104.
I think the best one that you said earlier is probably trading one of these quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Seeing what type of value we can get.
Look, I will say, like, I'm not 100% opposed to doing like a 104, but we really want the preference of the running back. So let's focus on like a Trevor Lawrence trade. We'll focus on a Chase Brown trade, which at a certain price we can do. And then I don't really want to sell your 2026 first, but if you go in season and you think you have a legitimate chance to go out there and win, I'm not 100% opposed to that if it goes that way. We don't need to sell Tucker Kraft, but if in your league with the big old premium, we won't completely say no to that option either. I think those are our main pieces there. So why don't we start by finding a quarterback needy team? We'll sort this league by quarterbacks. Angry Bunny.
Yeah, I was having a look and
needs some help here.
Oh, they have Marvin, Waddle.
Angry Bunny will start with first, though.
Oh, sorry. Yes,
I sorted by quarterbacks and went to the bottom.
Yeah.
So I think in this scenario, what about like a Walker, Cook, and then we send Trevor in the 204?
Yeah, I'm okay with that because I love Kenneth Walker and James Cook.
And then
you have Okay, you do have Kenneth Walker higher than Chuba.
We could also go DK Metcalf instead in this deal. Like maybe you aim for James Cook, DK Metcalf in that scenario. You know, and again, in this scenario, you really don't even need Trevor Lawrence with your team, let's be honest. But that would, without even thinking about draft capital, that would give you James Cook and DK Metcalf. So, I mean, your flex would look far better. You're probably going to be turning it, if you pull off a deal like this with Trevor Lawrence, you're probably turning into a contender, if anything.
Contender, no question.
You'd be starting,
have the ability to add.
Yeah, you'd be starting Caleb, Fields probably to start, then Bucky, James Cook, Brian, Thomas, JSN, Kraft, and then you could flex Roma Dunze, DK Metcalf, and Chase Brown. I mean, that's a more of a contending roster. I like that for this team a lot. You can go either way, though, because you can flex these running backs or these wide receivers. I think that's probably... I wouldn't do it for Terry as much as I love him.
No.
And you can't get Justin. I think those are probably the main outcomes with that team. Yeah, you're right. So Taylor Gang's next. They have Marvin. Well, obviously, if you can do something like Marvin straight up, that's a no-brainer, right? You might have to pay more, like your third, or maybe even that 204. But that could make sense for sure. I mean, would you pay Trevor and the 204 to get this done?
That's what I'm thinking.
I think that's probably what you'd have to pay.
I feel like the 204 seems pretty valuable here.
Yeah. It is a 12 team.
Yeah, it is 12 team.
Look, that might be that might not be the most ideal scenario, but I do think you're getting a discount on Marvin if you were to do that.
I would personally rather send like a Jalen Coker than 204.
Sure.
I'm not a big Coker guy, so like we might see that differently. But just to put options out there, because I would rather keep the 204, keep Young, because that can be.
I like Jalen Coker, but I would do that.
A scatter boot, right? It gives you more depth.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So the next team is Sanchi. There's not really like a middle ground here. I don't really want to go like Worthy. I guess that would be the middle ground, but I personally wouldn't want to pursue that. Thunder Thighs has enough middle ground quarterbacks. The guy who has Tua might be interested. LeBron James.
So James.
You could go Ayuk. The tough part is matching the value here, because Ayuk isn't as valuable as Trevor right now. What do you think? Like, would you do like Ayuk, ETN or something?
What about like Mark or something? Is that too
well,
much?
what about this? Trevor Lawrence and the 110 for Brandon Ayuk and Breece Hall. That could make a ton of sense.
Should we just go for like? Well, would it be crazy to say that T-Law on the 110 for like London?
Well, I don't want to do a 2-for-1 with his roster personally.
Right.
Because that start 10 is going to make it difficult to field a really good lineup. But it's not bad. Like, what you're saying would make sense to me 100%, just in like more of a start 8.
Sure. And then maybe he could throw in something. Oh, there's nothing he can throw in though.
Yeah, I don't think so. The next team, I'm not sure that would be interested, to be honest. They don't have a first this year.
Higher. It's gonna be tougher.
Yeah, I mean, you could try like Kyron Pearsall. I don't love it, but that would probably be. And what you would do here is probably add the 204, right? So Kyron Williams plus Ricky Pearsall. But again, I'm not in love with that personally. It's an idea. It would work. There's not really another team that desperately needs quarterback. Oh, well, D. Wallace. D. Wallace might be your last option here. But my God, they have nothing. I wonder if he sent us a message yet, and we can know what that pick is with D. Wallace. Hold on, let me just look at the.
Oh, he did.
Here.
So D Wallace has the one.
05.
Is it the 105?
Yeah,
Yes, the
because name
105.
first, yeah. So the 105, I mean, that could work. Like a Trevor plus Jalen Coker for the 105.
Yeah.
Not ideal, though. I'm not going to lie. That's not ideal. I think
Yeah,
the most ideal one was the first ones that we came up
the
with.
first one, yeah, I think so
James
as well.
Cook, DK Metcalf, Ken Walker, James Cook. I think those are the most ideal. Obviously, we like the Marvin deal as well. The 105 is nice. As far as Chase Brown, he really has a wide range of outcome right now. Like, some people are selling him for the 103. I'm not going to suggest that, but like the 105 to the 7
Yeah,
feels
107 feels
like
pretty good there.
the sell price. You more buy him for later than that. Now, I'm not saying you can get this in every league, but that is the price that you sell him for comfortably. And let's see who has. Well, does D Wallace need a running? Let's look at this. Does D Wallace need a running back because he has a 105? Yeah, but he has a lot of other needs. I doubt he's interested.
Yeah.
Arundel, or whatever. I don't actually see that name here. I don't see that team name.
He might be probably changed it.
LeBron James has the 106. Yeah. Look, if you can get any of those picks, obviously we have no problem doing that. I also don't mind like a pivot either. If you want to pivot to like a James Cook, yeah. James Cook feels like the safest pivot there. So he said Taylor Gang is Arnold. Oh, so they're like the worst team, aren't they? Yeah. They could be somewhat delusional and think their team is ready. But what you could actually do here is you could package Brown and Trevor. So we'll go Trevor and Chase Brown. We'll fix both of your problems. We want the 105 and we want what, Jalen Waddle?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the 105 and the 104, you can go double running back there probably in this class and then grab Jalen Waddle as a flex. I think that would make a ton of sense. I would do that same deal for probably Jameson as well.
Yeah, Lawrence, Chase Brown, J-Mo. Okay.
Yeah. I think those actually make a lot of sense. I actually like those deals a lot. For Javonte Williams, we've been saying, look, if you can get any second, you take it. So we're saying like the 207 to the 212 range,
Yeah.
Tucker Kraft, let's find if there's a team. The difficult part is you kind of need a tight end anyway. But let's see if there's any of these competing teams that would be desperate enough. So Angel of Death has the 102. That's not happening. They're not going to send us Higgins, obviously. Yeah, that's not going to work. Taylor Gang, we've looked at their team before. I don't think they're going to be that interested in fixing tight end first. How about Dunbarian Dirtbags? I'm saying that wrong. They have Laporta. They're fine. Yeah, you're not going to have much leverage with Kraft, I don't think. But I will say, in like almost a full point premium, I would say any late first in any year you take, even in the premium. But in most leagues, you're not going to get that value. So yeah, I think that is the kind of direction we would take with this team. I mean, let's just play out a hypothetical here real quick. And then, Michael, let us know if you have any last minute questions in the chat.
Yeah.
But let's just say you did the James Cook and the DK Metcalf trade. Okay. So you lost the 204. You lost Trevor Lawrence. And then you came back and you got Travion Henderson. Okay. And then at the 110, you got Emeka Egbuka. Let's just play out this world hypothetically. Who knows what happens? Well, we don't have the 204 anymore, right? So we added Henderson, Egbuka, Cook, Metcalf. We lost Trevor and the 204. So, I mean, that would be incredibly ideal for you. You still have 3 quarterbacks you can start in Caleb, McCarthy, Fields. Your running back room now has Bucky Irving, James Cook, Travion Henderson. Okay. And still Chase Brown in that scenario, by the way. We didn't even sell Chase Brown in that scenario. Your wide receiver room now has Brian Thomas, Jason Adunze, but we also added DK Metcalf and Emeka Egbuka, and you still got the same tight ends rocking with kind of like a gap piece for now. So that would be the best case scenario for this team. And I would argue if you get like even 2 of those trades done, you turn into a contender rather than a sleeper, and you might as well go and contend this year.
Appreciate you, Matt. Let us know if you have any last minute questions. Obviously, the floor is yours.
Yes,
but
please.
You should be receiving your customized playbook within 40 or 72 hours in the Flock Fantasy message system with everything that we drew up here for you today, man. Thank you so much for the support.
Yes.
Once again, the floor is yours.
Big time. And while we're waiting on any last minute questions from him, if you guys are out there watching this, like Badaki just said, Michael's going to get his team playbook. When you get the live review, you get the live review and then the playbook within 72 hours. And if you want your team playbook, which is a customized game plan for your offseason, we'll give you specific trade targets like we did for Michael here, what to do with your draft capital, then become a LAND, L-A-N-D promo code, annual Mother Flocker member. You'll get a voucher, and then you can go to the Flock store and get a team review there. The voucher makes the offline review free, and you just need to upgrade to the live version, which will be like $7 for annual members after that. And you can use the same process, by the way, if you're on a different promo code and you want to get a team review. You go through that Flock store, and then you just don't have the voucher, but you can still get a team review / playbook from us as well. Michael says, appreciate you guys. I sent one photo in the message on Flock, so let's have a little look here. I'll refresh on my end.
I just refreshed. I haven't seen anything yet.
Oh shoot, I hit complete and then I refreshed and then it went into the complete section. Give me a second here. I don't see a photo there. He said, I know you were hesitant on 2 for 1 as a sleeper. What do you think about Chase Brown in the 109 for London? Ooh. That's a good question. Chase Brown in the 109 for London. I thought you had the 110.
I'm assuming he said 110. I just think like
it's good value.
It's kind of a risky play. It is good value, but it's also a risky play because like if Chase Brown, I'm trying to think. So I'm just trying to picture in my head. Chase Brown's a starting running back, and we're chilling. At the 109, you can get Emeka Egbuka. Or 110 if it is the 110. I actually would take London.
I think value-wise, it's fine, but we do have to recognize that it doesn't really accomplish the goal we're after, which is to give you a more whole starting lineup. But that doesn't mean that if you're not able to do that with the other draft picks that you have, that you can't then trade Drake London and still have some flexibility with the roster. So overall, I'm fine with it, I'd say. No, you're good, Michael. You're good, Michael.
All good.
All right, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, overall, again, if that offer's in your inbox, I would have a really tough time saying no to it. So, I mean, I might just take that and then avoid any like what ifs with Chase Brown. And then if I needed the flexibility with my roster later on, I could tear down from London if I wanted to, or, I think you have options there. All right. Pat Man is offline. So the next one is going to be,
I think it's Perry, maybe.
YG the God would be next.
Okay, yes. Why did the God?
YG the God. Appreciate you, homies.
Right.
Notice the S on that from Michael there. I'm a part of this. Okay, I'm a part of this. All I want to be is just a part of it. That's it. Go ahead and let's look at YG's team here.
Yeah, we'll have a look at this. Appreciate you, YG, for the support. All right. He says, just also wanted to know with who I should go at my draft picks also. I'm assuming wanted to know who he should be drafting with his draft picks.
Yeah. which we can definitely help out with for sure.
He's currently ranked 4th out of 10. This is a 10-man league. It's a 1 quarterback, 10 team start, 8 half PPR. So it's meat and potatoes.
Yeah, it's a
smaller lineup here.
Sure. Mm-hmm. 10
and
team as well. The 10 team on top of the start 8 means those premium players are really what makes the difference in this league.
Yeah, so let's have a look at these, at his team here. All right. Currently ranked 4th out of 10 according to the rankings. Caleb Williams, JJ McCarthy, good quarterback for me. Don't really have to worry about that. At the running back position, Derrick Henry, Isaac Herendo, and the list goes on. You don't have an RB2 to start, but I see that you have the 101. We'll talk about that soon. Keep in mind, you can start it to 4 wide receivers. Brian Thomas, Rome Odunze, Jordan Addison, Jerry Jeudy are your starting 4 with Jaden Reed in the wing, maybe with David Njoku. But the meat of this team, I would say, is going to be coming in the 2025 draft with 1, 2, 3, 4 first-round picks.
1, 2, bring it to the foe.
You have 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Second-round picks, when in reality, you just move that up too. So you have the 202, the 204, the 206, and the 208, which is still pretty good value in a 10-man league. You don't have your 26 first.
That's okay.
We
can compete right now, I think. I mean, so let's think through the starting lineup, right? Caleb, Derek, Genty. Let's just put Genty there. Brian, Odunze, and Njoku. And then all we need to start is 2 more players. Addison Reed, Addison Jeudy, and then whatever we do at the 104, 107, 108. Now, here's what I'll say. When we include Genty, okay, so that's Caleb, Derek, Genty, Thomas, Odunze, Njoku, Addison, Reed, okay? We already have a player that's going to be left on our bench in either Jerry Jeudy or Jaden Reed. And we also have 3 more first-round picks, the 104, 107, 108, as well as all these seconds. So I think my goal for this team is to turn you almost into a Thanos, but at minimum, we are 100,000% competing, contending this year. No doubt about it, a contending roster. At worst, you don't have your first in 2026 anyway. You have all these picks. Let's make the most of them. Let's try and build a behemoth of a roster and go out there and win it all this year. That's how I would be approaching this.
Behemoth of a roster, he said.
Behemoth.
I love that approach. Let's continue to get into it then.
Okay, so the holds on this team would be your Odunze's and probably JJ's and 1 quarterback. There's no reason to really move him. As far as the untouchables, that's going to be Brian Thomas in the 101.
Yep.
And then as far as drops, you don't really... Let me be very clear. You don't need to drop anyone. But if you wanted to, you could drop Roman Wilson.
Wait, Michael Penix is on the waiver wires here.
Yeah, well, it's a 10-team 1 quarterback, right?
Dak Prescott, Trevor Lawrence, Tua.
I would pick up Penix for sure. Oh my gosh, what about Justin Fields in a 1 quarterback?
Fields? Yeah, Brendan Strange. There's a lot of pickups here.
So this tells me that I like a league like this with the waiver wire being super active, and involved. So look, if you need to drop players, you can drop Roman, probably Adonai, Dell, Estime. Again, if you need to make space. In almost every other league we will ever review, you probably wouldn't drop any of these names, right? But I would rather roster like a Penix Fields. Fields could be your starting quarterback this year on a contender. I also want to roster like the Cokers and Britton Stranges of the world. So, yeah, that's the heads up. Have we done all the admin? Well, team grade, I guess we have to give.
Yeah, team grade. I would say this is like a A-, B+.
Yeah, I'm gonna go A- because I think we have the potential to really shape this.
And then
draft capital grade.
Just put A+.
Yeah. Even though he doesn't have his first in the future, I think maybe A. Maybe we can't put the plus on there with no first in the future, but
yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, man, I really, really like this roster. I'm excited to review this team. I feel like we are going to have so many great ideas for you here. Let's go to the chalkboard, shall we?
To the chalky.
All right. So obviously we are picking Ashton Genty here. We are not, we're not considering anyone else at the 101. And the only way you sell Ashton Genty with this team, we need to get an elite running back here. So it's either Bijan Robinson or it's Jahmyr Gibbs. And to be very, very clear, in most leagues, you're not going to be able to get that done, okay? But again, the only way we sell this pick is for those two players. You need to add a Genty to your running back room desperately. You need a top-tier elite guy. At the 104, you're in this position where you can continue to add to the running back room or the wide receiver room. Hampton or McMillan would be ideal, but you know, any of these other running backs could be options there as well. At the 107, it's honestly kind of like the same range, but
yeah,
we'll remove the wide receivers there. Again, you could add many of these players, and it's going to be the same thing at the 108 as well. The 204 is going to be this. Well, it's interesting because that's actually the 202 logistically. Let's just say any of these players, right, from the 204 onwards. You get a Golden, a Scattaboo, a Trey Harris. These are all options. But to be honest, outside of Ashton Genty, I'm not really stuck on drafting any other player. I'm not opposed to it, but I would be willing to use all these picks to trade for superstars.
Yeah, I agree.
Literally every other pick I can package some way to make this a absolute star-studded roster, right? So let's think about the 104. Let's think about the 107. Let's think about the 108. And, you know, those second rounds we can add on to kind of to meet people. We can also use Derrick Henry if we wanted to, you know, package Derrick Henry in the 107 and go get, you know, one of those top names if we wanted to. So I think first things first on the realist, let's look at who has Bijan Robinson. So that would be Primetime Wes. No one else is going to understand that reference, but I love it. But... so if we sent him Derrick Henry and the, what do we have? The 107's the first, or the 104? Yeah. Do you think we could net a Bijan? It says fair trade. So, yeah, the 104 plus Derrick Henry. Let's go try and get a Bijan Robinson, package and pair him with Ashton Genty. I love that. We still have so many other assets to work with. Of course, you don't have to do that, but that is like a scenario where you can really tier up to like the top, the creme de la creme. Who has Jahmyr Gibbs as well? Team 2, you could try the same thing if you wanted. The 104 and Henry for Jahmyr Gibbs. If you think you can net something else like, you know, a Cooper Kupp or something on top of these type of deals, we have no problem in doing so. And the Bijan Robinson owner, he has like a Khalil Shakir, for example. Like if you can do that in any of these deals, great. But you don't, you know, you don't have to. These top tier premium names are worth it on their own in such a small format that you're in. You know, I think we can get a little creative here as well with Trey McBride for Team 2. Like, what if we also offered... There's no premium here. But what if we also went ahead and said, we'll give you the 104 Derrick Henry. This is the Jahmyr Gibbs owner, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll give you the 104 Derrick Henry. We'll also add the 107 and the 206, for example, for Jahmyr Gibbs and Trey McBride. Right?
Yeah.
Because who's our starting tight end right now? David Njoku?
Yeah, David Njoku. Which
is a fine option, but if we can upgrade to those top tier names, I have no problem with that. So that's another option.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
You know, this is definitely a team that can consider a Bucky Irving ad as well. So High with the Neighbors has Bucky Irving. Can we send them the 104 and grab Bucky? I'd be willing to do that. Just a straight up deal. Who else do they have though? Because we can package this. They also have Drake London. So can we try and find a way to get both of those guys, Bucky Irving and Drake London? We will send you... do they need a tight end? They do, so we could leverage Njoku. Or we could try and throw like Jordan Addison in here. The 104 plus Jordan Addison.
Yeah, I would try Jordan Addison.
What do you think? Like the 204, the 206.
Yeah.
You know, we can send the
Bob
208.
Collins, those guys.
You know, if we can find a way to do this without sending the other first, that's ideal. And again, in a league where it's a 1 quarterback, 10 team start 8, we have no problem buying Bucky at his current price point. Saquon Barkley, another name that we can go ahead and buy with
Saquon Barkley.
A team like this. Same team. So Saquon's going to cost you more. But in that scenario, it would be like the 104 plus... probably, I mean, look, if you can send a combination of like
the twos.
Yeah. If you can do that, great. In most leagues, you probably aren't going to be able to. Right, for Saquon. What you might have to do is send the 108 as well. And then maybe we can get something in return. Like Saquon and...
maybe that's the Drake one.
Drake is going to cost way more than that, though.
But you can add the seconds.
I just think he's going to cost more. Look, if you want to do Saquon and Drake, maybe you could ask for, you know, you can also send the 107, but you're going to have to really come to the table there, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, those top tier names are the names we want to acquire if we don't draft. And then at the wide receiver spot, I mean, let's try and find a team that's stacked, but maybe looking to rebuild. Nope, that's not going to work. DJ Moore's not terrible. In this league, I think we can aim higher.
We can get higher, yeah. That's
Jackson Smith and Jigba, maybe. Can we send the 107 plus, you know, the 204 and the 206 maybe? And go get a JSN. Again, you're not obviously you're not going to be able to do all these deals. But even if you do 1 or 2 of these deals, I think it'll put you in a great spot. You know, the Amon-Ra's, the Nico Collins is another great buy. I mean, he's very affordable right now. I'd pay that same price as JSN. So I like him a lot as a buy. You've already got Neighbors. You'd have to send the 101. So we want to avoid that if we could. CeeDee Lamb's a great buy. Maybe we could go 104 plus the 108 for CeeDee Lamb. In an ideal world, we could add like Alvin Kamara to the deal or something. But that could work as well to kind of tier up there. But I think those are the main deals. And a non-tight end premium, I don't think you really need to go hard after the position. Njoku's a fine starter on his own.
Yeah, I have to see the tight end position if there's anyone on the waivers. Let's see.
The other thing,
you can pick up Brenton Strange, by the way.
Yeah,
draft a tight end. I think that's a quick pickup just to give you some good depth.
The other thing you could do is go after these veterans. If you want to keep all these picks and you still want to go out there and compete, your Devontae Adams, your Tyreek Hills, your Mike Evans. And remember, guys, this is really the 204 because it's a 10-man league. But your Tyreek Hills, your Mike Evans, your Devontae Adams, your Chris Godwins. Is there any other names that come to mind there for that price point?
I mean, you could try Cooper Kupp.
I think you could get Kupp a lot cheaper than that.
Yeah.
But not a bad idea.
Chris Godwin, maybe.
Yep. We've got Godwin written down. Even like, yeah, if you want to go that lower range, like your 210, you want to send that for a Cooper Kupp because that's really the 208. Deebo Samuel. So you can go a couple different ways about it. But yeah, we're basically trying to tier up across the board as much as we possibly can.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support, YG, the GOAT.
Yes, sir. That's right. He's the GOAT.
You should be receiving your playbook within 72 hours on the Flock Fantasy Message System. With all the customized information that we drew up here for you today. But once again, thank you so much. Obviously, you're not here, but let us know, I guess, if you have any questions in the future.
Yeah, and I think a lot of these trades would suit you, man. You really only need to do one or two, but I definitely would like to upgrade pretty much across the board.
Yeah, I think upgrading that would be crazy.
UT says, I love Bucky, but if he's the RB4, then he's a huge sell. You know, I've disagreed with the community all off season, and I can definitely understand where everyone's coming from. But I've disagreed with the community all off season that he is a buy, because everyone's saying he's a sell. Everyone's saying he's a sell. I talked about it in this video. I still feel the same way as I did 2 months ago. But if you can buy him anywhere from the 104 to the 106, I think it's a no-brainer. And yeah, I don't think people realize that he completely took over from the bye week onwards. And had really a historic season, but I talk about it in that video. And of course, it's okay if we disagree on that. Not everybody's going to agree. But yeah, big fan of Bucky Irving. And I think he'd be a great addition to this team, specifically with the context of this team where we don't really care so much about depth, and we don't really care about necessarily like selling high on a Saquon or, you know, cashing in on a veteran. It's like, no, we just want to go out there and win with all the assets we have, with how, you know, small the league is. Let's just win. Let's just use these picks to the next 5 years. Let's give ourselves a window to win championships, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely understand. All right.
You want to give this the little spiel for him with his playbook?
I gave the spiel. You didn't hear it?
Okay.
But yes, you should be receiving it with 72 hours in the Flock Fantasy Message System. Thank you so much for the support.
And to clarify, I think we'll clarify when we say that. It'll be in the My Reviews tab, but also there's a message tab in the My Reviews tab, and you might have to look at completed, but check that within the next, like Badaki said, 72 hours. Just want to make sure, you know, people know exactly where they can find it, right?
Yeah, 100%. Once again, thank you so much for the support. For everything, man.
Yes. All right. Underdogs is the next and last one for today. If you guys are watching this video, it's a great time to go ahead and get your team review in. After today, we will only have offline reviews, so all live reviews. If you want to do a review live, you'll get into pretty much be the first on the queue. And if we have enough people submitting their reviews tonight, we'll completely dedicate tomorrow's stream to those playbooks and team reviews. But you can get your Dynasty playbook, which is a customized game plan for your offseason. We'll come up with specific trades for your team, understanding your league settings, what to do with your draft capital, then become a land annual Mother Flocker member on the Flock site. You'll get a voucher, which you can use through the Flock store. Go to the team review section. If you want an offline playbook, it'll be $0 with your voucher if you're an annual member. If you want the live version, it'll be $7 to $10 to upgrade. And then you'll get the live review along with your team playbook. And if you're out there and you want a team playbook, but you are on a different promo code, you can still go through the Flock store the same way that we just showed you, but you won't have a voucher, but you can still purchase one with Fantasyland here with Badaki and myself. Either a la carte or annual member. There is an option for everyone out there. And then P Money here is the last one that we are going to review for today. And just so you guys know, they did the upgrade earlier today on stream.
All right, P Money, thank you so much for your support. And thank you for being patient as we were going through these team reviews. Let us know if you are here. You are. Obviously, we're here with us earlier. Hopefully, you still are. He says, once to upgrade my team, wondering how I can or what direction I should go going into my second year. And this is a 2-quarterback, 10-team start 10, meaning this is a middle ground league.
Yeah.
So we will have a look P Money is here. So just so you guys know, Najee, Amon-Ra, Garrett Wilson on the block in my league. Also, the person that has Debo doesn't value Debo at all and wants to just throw him. Also, JT Agent likes to trade with me. Okay.
Okay.
All good information. Once again, jump in at any point in time.
This Four Little Saint is a team name. There's a premium, by the way.
The Little Saints. You know where that's from?
Little Giants?
No.
Oh, I don't know then.
You want to be one of the homies. You don't know Little Saints?
I don't.
Come on, man.
Unfortunately.
Now, you see the movie You Got Served?
No.
Oh, you want to be one of the homies you never seen You Got Served?
I already am one of the homies. That's the
that's the come on, son. Even P Money knows what he's talking about. Obviously, it's his team. Anyways,
I guess I'm disqualified, guys.
This one's for you, Lil Saint.
Let's have a look at the team.
Fire.
Yes.
Yes. Have a look
No
at
draft
the team.
capital, by the way.
Nah, no draft capital. Currently ranked 3rd out of 10. Lamar Jackson, Brother Bo, Dak Prescott, Trevor Lawrence, Derek Carr, phenomenal quarterback room. Maybe we can use some of these quarterbacks to get some draft capital or some players. At the running back position, Jonathan Taylor, Breece Hall, Josh Jacobs, James Conner. Another really good depth here at the running back position.
Yeah.
You don't see that often. You can start up to 5 wide receivers: Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Chris Godwin, Cooper Kupp, with Michael Pittman, McMillan in the wings.
The wide receiver room needs help for sure.
Yeah, TJ Hawkinson, George Kittle, and this is a 0.5 tight end premium. You don't have any picks this year, but you do have picks in 2020.
Well, he's got the 304, but basically no picks this year. I mean, I guess technically that's the 209, if you think about it.
209?
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
He says, I had bad depth. I had Derek Carr, Will Levis, Lamar, and Bryce to start. Had to finesse things. Well, you've done a good job. I think you're going to have to probably sell Lamar if you want to make a difference elsewhere. Nix is probably more of a buy than a sell for us. Same with Dak. Trevor's not going to get you the same return. So I think Lamar is the one that you'll need to sell if you want to make an impact in your wide receiver room. But you should be able to get a significant return for such a premium player. He's probably, a top 3 or 4 player in this format. And then you could still start like Bo, Dak, and Trevor each and every week. So that's one, I guess, area you could look to improve. But you can't do much with the draft capital, right? He says many people want Lamar, especially the Wilson owner. Well, let's start with some admin stuff. This team is very good. I'd probably go A-.
Okay.
With the amount of depth everywhere. As far as like a pathway, we're clearly contending. In fact, I'd probably say windows open for this one. Which your team isn't that old, so it's more just take advantage of the moment. But there's no reason to not go out and compete with a team like this. I don't think. I'd say windows open, strong contender. And as far as your untouchables, that would be Lamar Jackson, but we're probably going to move him. I don't think there's another untouchable on this team.
No.
So yeah, I think Lamar Jackson for sure. Outside of that, as far as holds go, I think Jalen Waddle is a solid hold right now. I'd also say Hawkinson because of your format. As far as drops, you could drop any number of these guys. Jacob, if you needed to clear space, you could go Kamani, Shipley. You could go Jordan Travis. Eric All's droppable. Any of these guys you could move on from. Your waiver wire is pretty barren. I mean, look, you could pick up a Miles Sanders or a Kareem Hunt if you wanted to, but it's not necessary. He says many people want Devonta. Okay, have we done all admin?
Draft capital.
Well, it's pretty bad. I would say draft capital grade is more of C+.
All right,
So,
yes, we are all caught up with admin.
we can move Lamar because our quarterback room is strong enough to let us do that. We can move Devonta if you're saying people love him. And I'm not opposed to moving James Conner as a piece in this. Again, start 10. So right now it's Lamar, Nix, Taylor, Brees, Devonta, Waddle, Hawkinson. We can only start 3 more names, which would probably be Jacobs, Tyreek, Godwin. But to be fair, we don't have any capital to really improve any depth. So we can tier up, but maybe just once. I wouldn't go too hard on a tier up, but yeah, Lamar and Devonta stand out to me. Maybe James Conner
as a sell piece.
Yeah, if you can get like
some capital in this,
the 201 to the 202 range.
Yeah,
give yourself a little flexibility there, because you still have Etienne behind him. You've got, quite a treasure chest of running backs there. Might as well get ahead of the game. Many want Chris Godwin. Also been offered some second rounders. We can look at Godwin as a sell too. But as a contender, you might want to hold on to him. It depends on the offers that come in. Let's start with Lamar Jackson. I feel like that's like the crucial piece in this deal. And I remember him saying something about Lamar Jackson.
Especially Wilson owner. Which Wilson? Like the are you saying the Russell Wilson, Garrett Wilson?
Probably Garrett, right? Wilson. So that guy has Amon-Ra, Garrett. Okay. I mean, first off, if you can do a straight chase swap, that makes the most sense. I think if you do a startup, yeah, Young Love. If you do a startup, these guys are going to go back to back. So that is your ideal outcome in this league. You go ahead and you make that swap. Okay, so you lose Jackson, but now you have Nix, Prescott, or Lawrence as your quarterback too. Then Taylor, Brees, you start Jamar Chase. That's going to completely transform your team. He says Chase is untouchable, but he's asking for Lamar Jackson. Okay, so this might not be a reasonable person, but we will try here. Now, if he doesn't want to give up Lamar, we're going to have to get Amon-Ra St. Brown at minimum and figure out a 2-for-2 here. So I'm thinking like Lamar Jackson, Amon-Ra and Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
We're going to give him back Lamar and what do you think, like Godwin we could try?
Yeah, it can be one of these guys. Godwin.
And
yeah, I'll start with Godwin first.
You might have to move that up. Maybe you could do Godwin and Connor. You could afford to do something like that. If not Connor, and if Godwin doesn't move the needle, you could try a Tyreek Hill next, right? We're comfortable to do that. If that doesn't get the job done, we might have to make this more of a 3-3, where we're sending away Waddle, but we might have to make it a little bit more complex, where we also ask for, what do you think, like a Devontae Adams?
I would probably say Devontae Adams.
And then we'll send him something else. So we'll figure that something else in a second. Yeah, we'll send him like a Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Kind of make that swap there. I mean, Michael Pittman might actually be more ideal with your current team. Or even a Jalen McMillan, As much as I love Jalen in a 10 team like this, he's a movable piece, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So those are kind of 3 levels to that deal if he's not going to be willing to give us Jamar Chase. Well, I mean, if you guys did your startup again, these guys are probably going back to back. You can make an argument for either one of over the other, but I mean, let's get on the same page here. You're not getting Lamar Jackson at a discount just because I'm selling him. That's not going to happen. You could also go like a Amon-Ra 104. And we'll throw you like a Cooper Kupp in that deal.
Amon-Ra 104. I feel like I'm more inclined to take a Monroe Garrett Wilson, at least for me personally. Like, I'm not saying I'm not gonna. I don't like that deal, but it's more as like, damn, I think I'd rather just have the guaranteed
Well,
person.
obviously I agree because that was like the first one I came up with, but just giving as many options as possible. Would you want a
Yeah,
would you not want this type of deal?
the Amon Ra 104.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not in love with a deal like that. I feel
Okay,
like,
maybe you try and add on the 110, and then you can
yeah, well, it needs to
sell
be more
James
added
Conner
on.
with this.
Yeah, it needs to be more added on. That's how I
Okay,
feel.
what was the other team that he says the coldest wants Devonta. Is there any other team that you think really wants Lamar Jackson? We'll go to Devonta now. He says the coldest. All right. He wants Devonta. He's got Lad. We can definitely work something out. First off, if he's going to give you that 105, I'm fine with that personally. But if we can find our way into a Lad McConkey, I mean, is he willing to do a straight swap? Does he still view Devonta Smith ahead of Lad? That's ideal. I would even send him Devonta Smith and like Jalen McMillan makes sense maybe. Derek Carr.
Devonta Smith. Let's see.
He says JT wants Lamar. Everyone really wants Lamar. He's eye candy. All right, we'll go to JT next. But yeah, that could make sense for Devonta Smith. The 105 or a Lad McConkey move would be ideal.
That's idea.
He said JT wants Lamar. So in
JT
this
wants
scenario,
Lamar.
we would want to do a Justin Jefferson move. It would have to be Jefferson. But
JT agent, yeah.
I mean, probably a straight swap. No? I mean,
Yeah, a straight swap. I think it's straight swap for Lamar, for Chase and JJ.
I think
Or JJ.
I think
Nice.
Chase is probably going to cost more. I mean, maybe you could add like Ricky Pearsall onto this or something. Or the 201, you know?
Yeah, you can get something. Yeah, I'm happy with Ricky or Shakira. And then that gives you two guys that can help. Or the 201, like Zach said.
But you can also then turn around and use Ricky Pearsall and something else to upgrade, or the 201 and something else to upgrade. But yeah. So yeah, I think that would probably make sense. We're not going to do like JSN. I love JSN, but that's just not going to happen. So yeah, we need them to come pretty aggressive with an offer there. All right, let's just quickly sort by league quarterback strength. JT clearly has a need at quarterback. Young Love, the guy who has Justin Fields as his quarterback too. There's nothing really to make it work. Malik Neighbors. So if we could we find our way into Malik Neighbors and Bijan? I mean, that would be crazy, but let's try and think of that idea. So Malik Neighbors plus Bijan Robinson. We'll give you Lamar Jackson. Lamar is more valuable than any of those names in a startup. So we kind of need to find a way to equal out the value here. Where's our team? What's our team naming it? Little Four Saints?
Yeah, Little
so
Saints.
what about like a Jalen Waddle, Devonta Smith? I would do either of those pretty easily.
From the coldest team, hey.
Whoever had the Neighbors Bijan.
Oh, sorry, hold on. I'm trying to find that. Okay,
I'm also fine to go and give them like a Josh Jacobs in this deal as well,
Yeah,
if they wanted to.
I agree.
Yeah. Any
I
of
mean,
those
there's
deals make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, those are a lot of deals there.
As far as Devonta, give us maybe one or two other teams that want Devonta Smith, and we'll look at some other ideas. But that is a lot of ideas already. Like Badaki, you mentioned. As far as tiering up, you could use a Chris Godwin. You could use like a Chris Godwin and a James Conner to tier up somewhere, but you have to be
Howard,
careful because you've got no draft capital here. I wouldn't mind like using your 26 first. Like what if we went like Godwin, Connor, and a first? That's maybe the last thing I want to discover here. Godwin, Connor, and a first. And let's go for like a top receiver. Well, ideally we need to find someone who is rebuilding.
Back. Yeah.
So maybe the coldest, he has the most draft picks. That's not going to work. Agent, I don't think you could get Justin Jefferson for that, but if you could, that would obviously be more than okay with us, and then you can use Lamar in a different deal.
Yeah.
We would do that for Neighbors, obviously. Probably pay more for Neighbors if I could. Puka, I think I'm fine with Puka for that deal too.
I think, yeah, Justin Jefferson, Malik. I'm fine with a deal like that for like Brian Thomas.
Yeah, so that's another idea there for you.
Oh.
I don't hate this one, Nicholas. I don't know if I want to rely on the 102. I want to get one of those top guys in the 10-teamer. You're good.
Yeah,
you're good, P Money.
it.
He says Ray Lewis really wants Lamar, so let's have a look at Ray Lewis. Yeah, unfortunately that's fine if they want him. It's not going to work. They have nothing to make it work. Joe B. Jammin wants
Devonta.
We looked at the coldest. Let's look at so this guy wants Devonta.
Yeah. I mean,
he has nobody that's enticing in a tier up. We could do like a DJ Moore 204, but or like a Roma Dunze 204.
Would you rather have Devonta Smith or DJ?
I would rather have. I think they're on the same tier.
I would rather have DJ. So like, I mean, just doing a swap, just based off production, you get the wide receiver one. At least from my expectation, he has Rome and DJ Moore, Ray Lewis's owner. That's something that I would do.
Maybe you can add the 204 in one of these deals and send Pittman in it.
Yep.
But Joe's the other one. Let's look at Joe here. So Joe has Puka, T, like a T Devonta swap would be perfect for you. You can sell him on T Higgins always being injured. That kind of straight swap would be perfect. If we need to add like, I'd be willing to add like a McMillan, Pittman, or Carr.
The T?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Especially having Godwin. You have Godwin and McMillan, so.
Yeah. He says, I'm curious, been thinking, if I sold Brees JT, what would you guys look for that for a return with this team? I would say it would be tough for me to do that because you're clearly a contending team, and selling those top guys
just not ideal right now.
It's not ideal. You don't have the assets like a whole bunch of guys on your bench that you could tier up with, and what you would probably do is sell them for like the 103 to the 104. But then you're having to bank on, as a contending team, running backs getting the capital. We believe they will, to be fair, but it's only a belief right now, right? Like if Hampton, Judkins, Henderson all go in the first two rounds, then you wouldn't really be sad about making a deal like that. But
yeah,
the opposite side of that is there's a lot of risk with a team that's very clear contending right now.
Yeah, and I think there's just a lot of. I know there's a lot of risk with Jonathan Taylor and Brees already because of their production last year, but you're gonna find it hard to sell them in this market
and replace the instant production unless everything goes to plan in the draft.
Yeah, so I think it's best to just hold that unless you can somehow pivot. Like, I mean, I doubt these are possible, but like if you're just looking based off rankings and you can pivot. Like if you can pivot from like a Brees to an HN, I think
Bucky
or
HN?
Bucky HN or Jonathan Taylor to a Marion that just got first round draft capital. Hypothetically, I doubt this is going to happen, but that's probably the only way we would probably
Those are the only
tell
two
you to
names.
go.
Those are the only two names. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to make a move.
Yeah.
No, you're
Because
good,
you're
P Money.
thinking.
You're doing the right thing, man.
Yeah.
And like always, you became an annual member, so the best part is that you're going to be able to come back and ask a free trade question whenever you want with that voucher. So, try and work some deals. If you have a trade question that you want us to look at tomorrow, we'll be able to look at that tomorrow. As far as tight end, that will be the last position I would say you need to look at. Quarterback, obviously, we want to use Lamar, but you got two guys you can start every week.
Yeah, exactly. So I think you're totally fine just waiting on tight end.
Hawkinson is more of a buy than a sell. And Kittle, I would say I'm not opposed to selling, but only if you're getting it's a tight end premium. Look, like if I could package Kittle and Pittman or Kittle and Connor an upgrade, I'm not opposed to it. But outside of that, I think you're good to go, man.
Yeah, P Money. Let us know if you have any last minute questions. But as always, you should be receiving your playbook within 72 hours in the Flock Fantasy Meshes system there when you go to my team, my reviews, and obviously click there. You'll be able to see that message system with all the customized stuff that we did draw up for you here today. But thank you so much for the support.
Yeah.
It says before ending, can you guys highlight what trade? Yes.
By the way, that will be highlighted on your playbook, but let's highlight what we always do is highlight our 4 favorite trades. Okay, so I think the Amon-Ra Garrett Wilson one is definitely ideal for this team. I think my number one goal is to kind of improve wide receiver if I can.
Yeah.
So that one definitely comes to mind. The Jefferson 201 comes to mind. The Neighbors Bijan. Obviously we prefer to go Waddle, but if it took Devonta Smith, we'd do it.
Yeah. Give him some more varieties here and just maybe say one of the Devonta Smith ones since he had so many.
Yeah, let's go Devonta Smith, T. Higgins. Obviously if you need to add Pittman on, we'll do that. But I like all these trades, to be honest. I would be fine completing a lot of these deals.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's great.
This is probably the end of the stream once P Money feels good. Want to make sure he feels good about the review. 101 or Drake May. I think when the draft finishes and Genty's a top 15 pick, the 101 probably has slightly more value. And at that point, I'd be willing to trade the 101 and get Drake May and a plus on top. Would you trade Lamar plus Trevor Lawrence for JJ Bucky and Justin Herbert? JJ being Justin Jefferson? So he's saying
JJ
Lamar
McCarthy
plus Trevor Lawrence for I'm thinking Jefferson.
If that is Justin Jefferson, I'll take the Justin Jefferson, Bucky, and Justin Herbert. Because if this is your team, I'm tearing down. If I'm looking at this team that we just had,
it is the Jefferson
you had the
team.
depth. Yeah. So it says Lamar. He says Lamar, T-Law, McMillan.
I mean, I absolutely would do
Or
that.
Godwin.
I would be shocked if the other owner is down for that, but 100% I would do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely do that trade. Because that still leaves you with Justin Jefferson, Bo Nix, and Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
You still got Derek Carr in the wings as well. Not saying he's going to be something, if anything, but if somebody goes down, at least you still have him to start.
I mean, you could totally flip Justin Jefferson after that. You do a deal like this, you can look at Jefferson and flip him in a different deal. So yeah, 100% I would do this deal. No doubt about it. What's up, Daniel? Yeah, I mean,
How you doing, brother?
the 2026 rookie class is full of potential. There's no guarantee, but there's potential for it to be one of the better quarterback classes we've had in a long time. But there's also a situation where all these quarterbacks have to step up and prove it this year. They all have to progress. there's potential there, but they all have to progress. So it could end up being a terrible class. Or all these guys step up. They take the necessary measurements, needed to improve different parts of their game. They all have different flaws, and it could be an incredible class. But yeah, I think again, Hot Nickels, you can hold off until the NFL draft and then probably get more. Yep, 48 to 72 hours, more on the 72 hours range right now with the demand, but you'll have that within that time period. P Money.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you.
Well, we appreciate y'all big time. If you're watching this, live reviews are now open. All right, so the next person to submit a live review, they'll be number one on the queue. These reviews that you see here are all offline. We want to give these guys ample time to tell us if they want to upgrade or not. But we'll do SG3s tomorrow for sure, probably Patman's tomorrow, and we'll give Perry some time.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys, man. Thank you so much for the support. It's been a fun day.
Yeah. Been a fun day. Appreciate y'all for being here with us, and we will see you guys very soon. Nothing but love.
Love.